Credit cards. Now, this is one topic that people across all age groups are talking about these days. Whether someone in their 20s or in their 60s, almost everyone's using a credit card or at least thinking about getting one. And why not? The kind of benefits credit cards offer these days are really amazing. And no matter how rich you are, no one would want to miss out on flight upgrades, free flight tickets, free hotel stays, cashback, lounge access, free movie tickets, and whatnot. So it would be unwise to say don't use credit cards. But what I would say is use it wisely. Because if you don't, you could land up in a debt trap, especially if you are young and in the growth stage of your life. In today's video, I'm just going to share how I personally use credit cards, things you should be mindful of while using them, and how to use them in a way that works for you and not against you. In the last few years, there's been a lot of advice out there on how to maximize your credit card rewards. I'm happy that people are becoming aware. But my concern is, are we being informed fully? Using credit cards has a lot of upsides, but it also has massive downsides. And it's the downsides that we are not being told about. Hence, a lot of us are at a huge risk of getting into a debt trap. So here are some of the pitfalls that you need to be aware of while using the credit cards. Unlike a debit card, जब आप खर्चा करते हो तो झट से बैंक से पैसा निकल जाता है, क्रेडिट कार्ड आपको सहूलियत देता है कि आप खर्चा कर लो और बाद में पैसे चुका दो। उस बफर के कारण people become too optimistic and start spending more than what they are earning, thinking, I'm getting my bonus soon, this isn't much, I will do some side gigs to get some extra money, and hence you get into a habit of spending more than you are earning. Secondly, you can get into an EMI trap, which is very common nowadays. Almost every credit card allows you to pay for the major purchases through EMIs at a click of a button. Whether it's a phone or a holiday or even something like a dinner bill over 2000 rupees, there's an option to pay in parts. And once you avail this option, it becomes a habit because it's easy money to get anything you want. When you do this often, you start carrying 5-6 EMIs at a time. Now, your future income is being used to cover the past expenses and you have no scope to save for the future expenses. Moreover, you pay additional interest too on the EMIs. Last is the high interest rates on missed payments. Missing even on a single payment can attract interest charges. You might assume that being late by a day or two isn't a big deal, but it is. Credit card interest in India can go as high as 30 to 42% per annum. That's around 3% every month compounded daily. So let's say your outstanding balance is 50,000 rupees. A delay of even a few days can easily add up to 1200 to 2000 rupees in interest next month. And if you are late beyond 3 days, banks can charge you a late payment fee, which is typically between 750 to 1300 rupees depending on your balance too. Now, these are the downsides that no one talks about when they sell the benefits of credit card off. Listening to all of this, a lot of people often get scared and they go to the other extreme of not using the credit card at all. I would not suggest anyone to do that unless it's a personal choice. So now let's understand how to use credit cards effectively and make the most of it. For years, I've been using credit cards for almost all my expenses, from grocery to fuel to shopping. But there's a system that I have created to ensure I don't go overboard. So here's how I use my credit card. Number one, I treat my credit card like a debit card, which means I only spend what's already there in my bank account. Now, I use my personal credit card only for the expenses that I have each month, such as groceries, utilities, subscription, and likewise. I use business credit card for fuel, for GST payments, travel booking, and such other things. These are all the things that I anyway have to pay for each month. So instead of using net banking or debit card, I use credit card. That way I get the points and the reward. It's just a different way to pay for the same thing. What's important here is that my spending is planned. It's not an extra expense. I'm not swiping the card for random shopping or emotional spending. And even if I do, I'm mindful of how much surplus amount is there in my bank account to cover up these unplanned expenses. Number two, I have set up an auto pay for my credit cards. Now that I use credit cards only for my recurring expenses and expenses that I'm 100% aware of, I have enabled the auto pay option on my credit cards, as I know my bank account will have enough money to cover the credit card bills each month. Most people don't have that option enabled because they want to check the bill first and they are not sure if they have enough money in the account. That usually happens when you're using credit card for random or unplanned expenses. In my case, because the spending is already planned, I don't need to second guess the bill. Number three, I don't keep more than 2-3 credit cards. I know a lot of people who have 7-8 cards, and the reason they have so many cards is because they fall for the idea of more savings, privileged access, higher status with each new card that hits the market. And that's exactly these credit card companies are selling. But here's what most people miss. You do not get these rewards for free. You are getting these rewards because you have spent money. The cards are designed to make you swipe more. That's how the system works. The more you spend, the more the credit card companies earn through interest fees and on your spendings. And slowly you end up spending more than you should. That's why I only have 3 cards which are enough to build credit and enjoy the perks. It's this well-oiled system that I've followed for the last 8-10 years, and it has made sure I use credit card effectively without any hassle. So if you are someone getting on the credit card spree, my suggestion would be to make these 3 things non-negotiable, which is to treat your credit card like a debit card, set up an auto pay option, and do not keep more than 3 credit cards. This will make sure that you make the most of a credit card rather than the credit card company making the most of you. If you found this video helpful, like it and share it.